happy today. I've started right when the vent has started out around me. Um, but this is William Brown from IamWilliamBrown.com. Um, the morning reflections and I guess meditation show. I think I wanted to start it a little bit earlier because I just wanted to, I guess, take some time with it, take some time with today, and just kind of sit through everything. I I've picked cards for today, um, so I want to invite you to take these on. Is I am purpose. You are full of grace, and I think you should just do it. Um, hmm, yeah, just sitting with those three cards, and the word today on one word conversations is receivership. Receivership. And so there's so many interpretations or so many things what that means, and there's an element that for me is just to receive, to be a relationship with receiving, right? That's how it's showing up for me. My relationship with receiving. It's nothing to do with my worthiness. Have nothing to do with my feelings or anything of that nature. What is your relationship with receiving? I I woke with um, a Tom Petty song on on my mind. And I don't know if it was like one of those things that I heard it right before I went to sleep or something. For some reason, there was this, I, I'm remembering, there's this Tom Petty, there's this Tom Petty song, but I don't know if that was the case. I don't know if I went to sleep with the Tom Petty song, but I woke up with it. Um, and the song is I Won't Back Down. Which is kind of interesting because there's two things about Tom Petty. Is that he passed away a couple of years ago, or maybe even last year. I don't know. I know he passed away, and it was a surprise to everyone. But I saw something like a behind the music for him, um, recently, probably a month or so ago, and I was very amazed with his story and his journey in the industry and um, his creative outlet of songwriting and everything. Um, and it's very interesting that that song was playing in my head, and I shared it on my Facebook page. The first verse of that song was speaking to me, and I'm sure I'll probably look at it again. Um, I don't know if you can notice, I've got my hairs cut, so uh, so I don't have a hat on. I uh, I'm, you know, it's not as cold as it typically is out here. Um, the uh, um, yeah, I don't know why I'm distracted. I think I'm distracted because I recorded tomorrow's show for One Word Conversations yesterday, and I tried to like put it in a premiere type of thing, and it didn't come up the way I wanted to do. So I'm gonna have to spend some time to do that again. Um, the I spent some time yesterday. I don't know if I shared with you yesterday that I was doing a silent retreat, or just kind of like getting quiet, because I was sitting with before I knew you, before, yeah, before the foundations of the world were formed, I knew you. You know, that first Jeremiah 1:5, and I just wanted to sit with that and just kind of see um, what was showing up, um, and what was showing up for me was kind of surprising, and it was kind of, I'm going to say, disturbing. Um, I've mentioned that a large part of my self discovery journey is a spiritual journey. I've mentioned that I've stepped away from the what I call organized religion, and basically, um, really, what I've done is my um, um, my attendance, or my commitment to attending um, services and all that other kind of stuff on a weekly basis or something. You know, I've let that commitment go, because it is um, um, the interactions. It it just didn't feel like it was coming from a place of growth, or coming from a place of um, I don't know if it was obedience, or something. But what came up with within my quiet time was that I am pretty angry about, I guess, the church, or the way the church occurs to me now. And I was kind of surprised about that. I mean, there's a number of ways that I believe that, I guess, the benefits of the church, or the gatherings and all that other kind of stuff. There's been that, but I didn't realize how much that it bothered me. And the uh, the one thing that I don't know if I've shared with people, and I need to find this scripture, uh, um, that that kind of haunts me, is that, I don't want to say it haunts me, but it's something, it sobers me up. Let's just say that. It is. Um, it says, does it, and maybe if you know it, it says something to the effect that, don't cause someone else to stumble in their faith. Don't be the cause of that. And so I'll be looking that up to see exactly what it is. But because of that, I would never want my journey, or the expression of my spiritual journey, to cause someone to question or stumble within theirs. So can just go, um, um, and so I think that is one reason why I am, like, I think, more responsible with how I share, and what I share about my faith, and how I recognize the importance of that. And so, to look at, I am purpose, I am full of grace, and I think you should just do it. Um, the reason why I referenced the show that I um, recorded yesterday is because the word for tomorrow is determination. Determ- I think it's determination. Yeah, I don't know. Um, I don't think it's determination. It's dedication. That's what it is. Dedication. Dedication. The word tomorrow is dedication, and within that word, within that conversation, the grace came in a lot, um, and so I think you'll find that interesting, and I realize a lot, a part of my frustration, my anger, my disappointment within the organized religion um, is, has it basically is calling me to give a lot of grace and a lot of grace for myself, and me working out um, the scripture that says don't cause someone to stumble in their faith is it's an area that I need to get grace in, because there's um, the one thing that I've recognized, and one thing that I appreciated um, mostly, is that um, for the most part we're all trying to figure this thing out, and I think our ability to connect to God, our understanding of God, um, in some cases is our only hope. Um, um, and so, what that means and how that shows up is interesting. Um, so to wake up with, I won't back down. There is something that's causing me to stand up. It's causing me to be forefront, to cause me to um, not not retreat, stand up, and so I'm going to be embracing that today, and just kind of not be distracted by things um, that uh, that are getting in my way, um, that I feel that are causing me to consider backing down, or to do things. So really, the more that I embrace, the more that I invite you to embrace it. You are purpose. You have grace. We have received grace for grace. And whatever it's causing you to do, I just noticed within me right now, that's kind of funny. Funny and not funny, that the pain that I have been dealing with in my neck, and that I haven't experienced in a while, um, there was a sharpness to it. So it's like reminding me that, I'm touching on an area um, of repression, you know. Um, um, the other thing that, that I'm sitting with is that there is a number of people that are passing away, that are around me, that are, it's like, um, it's getting closer to me. Um, and so there's like a lot of immediate family, friends of family, um, that are that are passing. That it's interesting that I don't have a large relationship to. Good morning, Melissa. I started a little bit early, so hopefully you're able to join in. I will repeat some of the things, but there's a number of people that are returning to source, um, passing away, homegoing, all the things that we say about when people pass away. That has caused me to um, remember of our connection, be reminded of our connection, and my emotional connection to it. And even though there's a number of people that have recently passed away for me um, that I wasn't close to. I mean, we were possibly Facebook friends, but there was a time when we were closer. There was a more of an interaction. But to hear that they're passing, there was a hurt. There was a physical reaction to that, to their passing, and I was just thinking, I was like, wow. I mean, I didn't realize that there was this love, this connection, um, of this person. I know this person, but the fact that now that they have passed on, um, it's there was some hurt to it. So yeah, so I'm sitting with that. Like I said, I got a new haircut, all those things, so you kind of shed things. I think for me, what a haircut is turning into, and it's kind of interesting, and it's kind of surprised that I'm going to mention it. Um, but my hair um, is now turning into my relationship with weeds. I don't know if there's a place for weeds. Weeds exist for a reason. We grow something and weeds come in, can kind of kill something. It's kind of interesting because I saw something that there is weeds. Um, there um, weeds aren't as bad as we are told that they are. Um, so they're but how it's showing up for me, my hair is showing up for me, is that there is not the attention to my hair. There's not a level of attention to my hair, and it gets to a place where it's unruly and it's all that other kind of stuff. And then I, kind of get sick of it, and then I, get my hair cut. Um, and what I'm getting for myself is, there is a thing that says how you do anything is how you do everything, right? And how that's shown up for me is that there are things in my life that I have no relationship to, that it's like I'm aware of it. There's an awareness, right? But there's not action on it until it gets to a point where there has to be action. And then I do something. And I want to stop that pattern, that pattern of doing things that I have to wait until it becomes unruly or out of control for it to really get my attention. Go from awareness to get my attention to then cause me to make an action. And I think that's the reminder of the cards that I have for today, is that, I am purpose, I am full of grace, and I should just do it. I think I should just do it. It's reminding me, and it's inviting me to take on that there's a purpose to my life. So stop kind of ignoring that purpose. Stop allowing that purpose to not have my full attention. Um, Give myself some grace. I have grace to extend to myself and to extend to others around that. Don't beat myself up so much about what I do and don't do around my purpose. Um, and that um, there is a doing in my being. Um, Yesterday was an interesting day because uh, I did a couple shows. I did the Solopreneur show. I did the 1 Hour Conversation show. I also was on the Daily Huddle. Was a video podcast, and I was asking the question, who am I in my work? And it's just a question that I was asking for a lot of people, and that were there, and I recognize that um, in that moment, um, who I was afraid, um, and disappointed, and all those things. Those things were showing up in my work and within my conversations, and I could have stayed with that and kind of sat with the fear and all that other kind of stuff, or made some different choices. And the fact that I shared that's how I was showing up for my conversation, for in my work, around being yourself and being concerned about being myself and messing up being myself. That's how it is with my um, that's how it is with my purpose, and embracing my purpose. It is that I feel that I'm going to mess my purpose up, and the feeling that it's just listen to that for a second, and I'm trying to take that in for myself. It's like, how can I mess up being myself? There is this mindset of perfection that is so pervasive through my life that it has even reached parts of my core to think that there is a right way and wrong way to be myself, which is it's fascinating and crazy. But if I really believe that there is no one youer than you, there's nobody else that can be. You know, can be me, and I'm concerned about being and not being myself, or being myself wrong, which is, like I said, it's just fascinating. It's just fascinating that that's even a question. Um, but I but the fact that a part of my work is to let that go. That the more I just show up as myself, just show up. It's not even show up as myself. Just show up, and I'm fine. There is, I do some public speaking, and within public speaking, there's rehearsal, there's outline, all that other kind of stuff, and all these things that we want to say, and I want to say and do, and kind of leave with the audience. And there are moments. My style is a lot more conversationalist. As this show is that the more that I am just stay within the conversation of presenting what I'm doing, the better off it goes. And there is a thing that says, hey, look, if there's something that I was planning to say, or I meant to say, that I didn't say because I was in the moment and I didn't say it, I didn't make a mistake. I just didn't say it. And there's so many times that I have been very hard on myself because I didn't say something that I was planning to say or I wanted to say, and I thought that it would clarify everything. And until I would tell people that, hey, this is, oh, I screwed up here because I didn't say this. And it's like, dude, we didn't know that that's what you were planning to do. So it was okay. Um, so it's like that's how I'm showing up in my life. It's like I am upset with myself because there's things that I was planning to do, didn't do, wanted to do, fully intended to do, but didn't do. But nobody knew but me. And I'm still beating myself up about it. So just say, hey, it didn't happen. So um, what happened, happened. And so there is no benefit. There is no, um, I think that's the right word. There's no benefit into taking energy to go um, to beat myself up for something that I thought I was going to do, planned to do, that didn't happen. and it's just to go from there. So, mm, what is today calling for you? How do you need to see that your life is purpose? That's how does that land for you today? How does you're full of grace? You are full of grace land for you today. And the quote card is, I think I should just do it. What is calling you to just do? No matter what other people will think, no matter what you think, right? That you're just going to do. Um, I think that's what we're taking on today. And the conversation that I have today about the word is receivership. It's one of those big words again. And like I said, there's a number of ways that can show up for you, but how it's shown up for me, and that I'll bring into the conversation, and that I'll ask you to kind of think about before the show is, what is your relationship with receiving? What is your relationship? Is it complicated, as they say, or is it a loving receiving? Um, yeah, because I think the more that I embrace um, are really kind of enter into my relationship with receiving, the more that I'm able to have a life of abundance. Have a life of abundance, and what that means. A life of abundance. You know, I, I have done many meditations about the laws of attraction and all that other kind of stuff, and all the things that I want to attract in my life. Um, but I have no relationship to receiving, right? Or a very complicated relationship with receiving. And so it's like, come close to me, get away from me, right? you know, that's that's the paradox of I don't know if it's the life of an introvert, or I don't know if that's just a part of human existence. Come closer, get away. You know, um, what is that in the Bible? There's a scripture that says familiarity breeds contempt. So it's like the closer I get to something, the more contempt I have for for it. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe I need to study that. Um, Familia. Um, so yeah, I think it's one of those times that I'm coming to the place where I just want to breathe. If you can do that, just take a breath and just release it. Just let it all out. I don't know what you're letting out. I don't know what I'm letting out. There's a lot of things that I'm taking in that I'm not letting out. There is many times that I find myself holding my breath, holding what I am bringing into my being. And now it is causing pain. Oh, I just got that. There's a reason why we exhale. And there's a reason why we should exhale just as much as we inhale. Yeah, that's what today is calling for me today. That I am purpose, I am full of grace. And if I'm full of grace, I need to exhale grace. Exhale grace, extend grace. And that's what I should do. That's what today is calling me to do. And that's what I will do. And it starts with me. So this is a moment where I'll have a prayer for you, for everyone. Um, so as this day continues, it is my prayer. It is my prayer that we acknowledge and we look at our relationship to receiving. So we have an understanding and appreciation that we are purpose, that we are full of grace, that we should exhale that grace, that we should extend that grace, um, first for ourselves and for others, and that we do everything that today, this moment, this present moment, now, is causing us to do, inviting us to do. The more that I'm aware of the pain in my neck, the more that I am aware that I need to take more exhales. The more that I'm willing to not just bring everything closer to me, but let it go. Give it back, right? We receive so we can give. We receive so we can give. We receive so we can give. I think that's the word. That's the mantra that will get me through today. We receive so we can give. So I bring together my fears and my disappointments and my depressions of my past and my anxiety and the hopes of my future together in this present moment. And it is my prayer that you have a happy today. See you later, my friend.